If you're bullish in altcoins, then you're gonna love this chart right here, which I'm about to show you. Also, I will talk about my strategy in this crypto market, what I've been applying so far already, and how to make sure that it's impossible to lose and to always win. Because the chart is actually showing like, wow, there's something really interesting coming, but it doesn't mean that in the shorter term we can get a little wrecked. And how to make sure that you stay a little safe in this market and don't lose your money before the fun really begins. Also, check out the Patreon. There is a link down below where I drop exclusive videos, content, my portfolio insights. You see exactly what I have. Follow influencer wallet trackers like Alex Becker, Elliot Trades, etc. And we're going to do private sales as well. And let's jump into the content. Now, the first thing I would like to show you is again this chart. And this is the social risk, showing the amount, well, not the exact amount, but the trend of people following Twitter analysts, right? Or crypto analysts on Twitter, layer ones, etc. Watching YouTube videos, subscribe to YouTube channels. Now, this chart is far from retailers here, right? It's far from that. This chart is only going down. Occasionally it pumps a little bit, but then again, the trend is just down, down, down. It looks a little similar to what we did right here, right? Where we found a bottom in 2018-19. It had a good pump in this, mid-cycle run-up. And then once we had that, and we didn't really break through new all-time highs, the retail felt like, yeah, never mind then, right? I want to see all-time highs, and only then I'm gonna invest. Smart. Well, it's kind of what we see right now as well. We had the bottom. In the run-up in the mid-cycle top, if you want to call it like that, the retail was interested. And once they see like, hey, Bitcoin is going sideways, never mind. And anytime some news comes out, they be like, oh, let's see. And then it's like, never mind. Now it's going down again. So it looks like we're kind of here if you look at the social risk. And yeah, that's interesting because it's either people step in once we get an alt season, or we get an alt season because people step in, or both, right? I don't know about that exactly, but that's about to come yet. Nevertheless, no retail is here, but Bitcoin is sitting at all-time highs, right? So for the people that say like, yeah, Bitcoin is going to top out at 80K or whatever, like, use your brain, bro. Bitcoin is going far beyond that, far beyond 80K. I can already tell you that. It's pretty certain for me. Why? Because there's no retail, again, right here. And yet Bitcoin is sitting at 60K. So all this retail is coming in and that drives the price up with like 15%. Doesn't make sense, man. Doesn't make sense to me. So that's really interesting about what's to come. Now, let's jump into this altcoin chart that I've just found, which I thought was pretty cool. It's just one indicator, one chart. I have a lot of charts showing that end of the year should be extreme, brutal party time and party like MDMA kind of party shit for altcoins, right? Like tripping. But this is another chart. And this chart shows, if you put it on the bi-weekly, so the 2-week, you can see that the stochastic RSI is saying that you should like the video, because I haven't said that yet. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, welcome. My name is Menno, you don't care, whatever, we got that out of the way. But smack that like button, like 50 times at least. But the stochastic RSI is a momentum indicator basically, right? And it is showing that it's sitting at the oversold territory, but it's also pointing upwards a little bit now. Now, I checked out the times, the last times where it was at the same level, basically. Oversold, but pointing upwards. And let's just see what happened to the price of the altcoin market back then. Because this doesn't look like much, but it might surprise you. Now, I don't want to say, again, this is not your total tree, right? Where a lot of people look at. This is others. This is everything, excluding the top 10. Okay, so no Bitcoin, no ETH, no Solana, but also no stable coins like USDT, XRP, USDC, etc. Right? So really the lower cap altcoin market. So if this thing moves with 10%, your actual altcoin bag, depending on how degen you actually are, could move 20%, maybe 30, right? That goes for the up and the downside, of course. But you should remember that. So if you see me pull off a number right here, 50%, you might be like, 50% is not that much. On your portfolio, that's going to be crazy if you're a little bit degen, right? So we're now here. Again, look at this. It is pointing upwards. It's crossing right now. Looks healthy, right? Looks like it wants to push up right now on the real higher time frame. So the coming couple of months, basically. Let's check out the last time we were at that exact same level. From the bottom, right? And I do want to say we already had that bottom, right? So if I say, hey, it can go up 20%, then I take it from here, not where we are right now. Yeah. But still, the last time from the bottom until the next, major top that we had was a run-up of 82%. Now, the fun thing is, I think that was the smallest, because the time before that was a run-up of 270%. Time before that, from the bottom, from the moment we crossed and the stochastic RSI was pointing upwards, it was a run-up of 300%, 340%. Should not make 300, 340%. The time before that was over here. In 2017, we all know what happened back there, right? Was slightly different, was 38,000%. And even this right here, you might feel like, that's nothing too crazy. Bro, it was crazy. This was a run-up of 150%. So if we ignore that 38,000%, because that was actually by far the biggest alt season we would have ever seen, right? And we're not gonna see something like that anytime anymore. No way, right? No 40,000 percentages. Like, forget it, okay? I'm not gonna be the YouTuber that says, this altcoin can go up 10,000%. Just invest, and it will be fine, right? Fuck off, man. That's not gonna happen. It was totally different times. But overall, we have seen numbers between 150 and 300%. On a short-term move, right? On a short-term move. Again, if you, for example, take this one, I take it from here to here, right? But don't forget, we had a whole other bull market coming after that, okay? So, 150, 300%. Like I said, it probably goes for the rest of the year, right? If you look at how the time frame this all has played out, this took 200 days, right? This one, took 100 days. This one was a full bull market. This one took 42 days. So that's all around 1.5, 4 months, kind of. Sorry, I'm having a call, by the way, choo-choo. But that's kind of, so this move is for the rest of the year. I expect the big altcoin bull market to be in 2025, right? But what can we expect this year? Well, in the short term, I feel like, man, we can go down, definitely. I'm always saying that. And so far, we have been doing that, luckily. Otherwise, I've been making a fool out of myself. But for the rest of the year, if we take it 150%, which is, 80% was the smallest move that we saw, right? So let's take it 80% from that bottom. That would put the altcoin market at around $230 billion, right? So that's like target 1, 230 billion. That seems quite reasonable. Also, by the way, if you look at that, where that trend line comes in, that's a big support level, big resistance level, big support level. So it kind of makes sense as well. But that's the first bullish target. I'm always cautious. I'm never bearish or bullish. Well, I'm always cautious. But this video, I want to keep it a little more bullish, right? Because this is a slight longer term. So that's the first target. But if we look at other targets that we have clearly seen of 150%, that would basically take it all back to the previous high of this cycle, right? And we also have seen targets of around 300%. If we take it that far, then 617 billion, give or take. So let's say 600 for good faith. So these are, and I'm not saying, hey, this is where the altcoin market goes. Look, I don't have a fucking clue, okay? I'm just looking at this chart and saying, hey, based on all the other times that the stochastic RSI was at this place, right? These were the moves, and if these moves were to happen right now, then these are the targets. Like they are all over the place, right? It could also be that like last time was an 80% move, was the smallest one. Could be that we now get a 40% move, right? That now it will be smaller, and that will be very disappointing because we kind of already are there, right? So it doesn't have to mean much, but it also shows like, hey, there are certain averages that we can hit. These doesn't seem like that unrealistic targets as well for the coming, let's say, 4 months, right? It's 300% max. Now, I mean, so far from the bottom of this cycle to the top of this cycle, we have seen 430%, right? What I just said, like, hey, on your actual altcoin bag, that can make a lot of difference. If we look at some altcoins that I like, for example, one of them is Cetify, right? So 430% was what the altcoin market did from the bottom to the top. However, Cetify did 990%, right? And even high caps like AVAX did 650%. Right, and then you can take a look at real micro caps, which are getting extremely wrecked in a downwards market and extremely crazy upwards in a upwards market. Playable games did a 30x, right? So again, it depends on what kind of altcoins you are in, right? And you can now look at this and be like, wow, you know, then I'm gonna be in the low caps because they blow up. But again, playable games also went down with 91% in this market that we are currently in, right? And if you look at a more boring coin, basically like Link, it's down 54%, right? Imagine if this thing went down 91%, then it would have gone from $22 to $2, basically. Okay, so that's a huge fucking difference, of course, right? And don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, if we look at, for example, Playable itself, look at this chart. Is this bullish? Short term, it looks nice, but there were many times where it looked nice short term, and overall it was still going down. This so far is nothing different, right? So if I had to guess, like, hey, this is what the trend does, then it has to do something like this, right? And at a certain point that will end, and maybe now it will end, but that's a gamble also. And I don't know if you want to have all your money there once you're gambling with that, right? Because, yeah, it can cost you a lot. If you take a look at the overall altcoin market, yeah, lower lows, lower highs, you can see it very clearly on the daily, right? We have these highs, low highs, low highs, low highs, low highs, low highs, and lower lows all over the place. So basically on the shorter term, it's now doing nothing different than forming a lower high, right? And so far it went to at least this trend line. Yeah, it's struggling to even get out of this zone right here, this horizontal that we're now in, right? This time it looks like we're not even going to make it to the trend line. Maybe we do, but then it's still, according to the trend, likely that we see a lower low and everybody gets fucking wrecked again. So therefore, I do want to share my strategy because this is important. Look, I mean, I want to be clear. In a bull market, which it is clearly, this type of downward trend is actually bullish, right? This bear flag. Forgive me if I'm having the term wrong, but I think it's bear flag. At least the trend is down, right? And usually in a bull market, that's bearish, and mostly it breaks to the upside. But it can break out here, it can break out here, but it can also break out here somewhere, right? You don't know how much you're getting wrecked before it finally breaks out, if it breaks out in the first place. So we want to keep it simple. This is the trend. The trend is down, right? So the altcoin market is in a downward trend. We are losing money with altcoins. Very simple. If you were smart enough to buy this dip right here, because I'm not a fan of saying buy every dip, for sure not. But overall, long-term investing, then this is definitely not a bad place. If you bought right here, and we for some reason do make it here, take shit off the table. I want to give an example. I bought some Polish, startless Polish. I bought some, and I had a pretty good entry. I had a pretty decent entry. I bought it at 9 cents, which was quite close to the lows, right? Below here, right? And it's now sitting almost double. I already dollar cost out of this thing, right? I dollar costed out at 12 cents, a little bit, dollar costed out at 14 cents, and I just dollar costed out at 16 cents as well. I'm still having a bag, but now I have just as much as I initially allocated. But I do have some money for free right now. So you might say like, yeah, you're dollar costing out way too soon. And that, for sure, that could definitely be. I don't really care though. Why? Well, one, crypto is my job, so my money depends on this. So I should be a little more careful than somebody who just has a normal job and does crypto on the side, of course. That's, I think, very understandable. And I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't need to. I remember when I bought altcoins and Bitcoin, etc. right here, and it went up. I started to dollar cost out here as well, and I did it all the way up to here and up to here as well, right? So I didn't time the top, which I don't try as well, but I just dollar cost around it. And I remember people saying like, dude, look at the market. You're getting out, right? What the fuck? Now the market did this. And I feel very nice about this, right? I feel very nice about this. And I've been on the other side as well. Okay. I also, especially previous cycle, right? Where I've been at the side where I bought, hopefully low, right? Which I didn't really. Well, 2017 I didn't. Well, doesn't matter. Bought low, right? Then it went up, and I thought like, yeah, this is going on forever. This will never stop. And I won't take my profits. I'm genius. And then it goes down. I'll be like, what the fuck? I wish I took my profits a little bit at least, right? And a lot of people are now, I see it from a lot of people that they do now what I did back then as well. Like, didn't take profits, or at least not enough, right? And that sucks. That sucks. So I don't know, man. I'd rather take profits a little too early, but at least have my dry powder again for when the market goes down. You know, then not taking profits at all and see the market going down. Because there's always a chance that the market goes down, right? It's what we basically have seen in the last 6 months in the altcoin market, right? Down only. So therefore, I just want to have free positions, right? I put in 5K or so. I now have 3.5K profit. I'm almost free in this coin. And then fine. So then it doesn't matter, right? Because then if you look at the market cap, that's more realistic. Then if it goes up, I'm fine. I'm riding that, whatever, how much I still have left. I'm riding that for free. Nice, right? And if it goes down, I'm also fine because I like the project and I can buy more and I'm not in a loss, right? There's no way of losing. And it is so, I don't know, crypto 101, it sounds like take your profits. But it's what so many people forget to do. And they feel like, nah, but it will go up more. Like, you're way too early. Yeah, maybe it could be, but it doesn't matter because I cannot lose this way. You don't take profits. You still have the risk to lose. Yeah, you can also make more money than I do. But then it depends, like, how much risk are you willing to take? And again, for me, this is my job. I take less risk maybe than you do. And that's fine. This works for me. This works for me. You do not have to take a lot of risk to make money in this market, man, at all. I saw a tweet. I don't know if I can still pop it up somewhere because this was a really interesting tweet. It was from Fred. I just remember the guy named Fred, but I don't know who it was. Oh, here we go. Somebody said, which narratives will outperform on the next leg of the bull market? I voted for gaming, and obviously it's the lowest. It has the lowest votes, least votes. It was memes again, right? People were still in memes. And I feel like, okay, although I don't agree it could happen because I don't know, right? But people like to take a lot of risk, I guess, right? Because gaming, I don't know. It's not as speculative as memes. It's pretty obvious that gaming is going to blow up, and it's very undervalued. So it's lower risk, higher reward than memes, in my opinion. But people like memes, right? That's what it's all about right now. People like to take risk in this market because they think that's the only way to make money. Let me tell you what, you are in altcoins. You are already taking a huge amount of risk. Even if you buy shit like Ethereum, Chainlink, etc. That's a huge risk already. But people still like to aim for that 100x, right? And that's not going to happen with most of the people, but still they like to aim for it. It gives you that thrill. Let me tell you what. I went from 0 to... I once was above 1 million. Now it's, I don't know, whatever. But I went from 0 to a good amount. And I think I never invested more than a few $1,000s in the meme coin, right? And that meme coin didn't do shit for me, by the way. I made all my money without meme coins, without taking huge risk. You know about the rabbit and the turtle, right? Turtle wins. I'm the turtle, bro. Especially when you see me wake up in the morning. I look like it, but I act like it as well, right? Sorry, just realized it was maybe pretty funny. I just don't know, man. I look at the market. I invest when I feel like it's time. I take a little bit of profit once the market goes up. Could have made a 10x, maybe, but walk away with a 3x, also fine. But I take a lot less risk, and slowly but steadily, I'm building a portfolio like that, right? And now I look back at what I had once the market was like in this cycle, the top, and I compare it to what do I have right now, and I feel like, no, of course I'm down, but I'm not like down 80% or so. I made some pulls, etc. And I saw a lot of people, they're down 70, 80% from the highs. I feel like, yeah, it's because you take your risk, right? And it's fine. But do understand what type of market we are in, right? This was an upwards market. Take your risk, right? That's fine. But this market is going down. If you're taking a lot of risk right now, I feel like, yeah, but why are you doing that, right? It is already going down. Like you're in a downward trend. Why should you be so risky right now? It's not the time for it. So therefore, if I do, at this stage of the market, see a coin of mine do a 2x or something like that, I feel like, yeah, we take something off the table. For sure. Of course. Because we are in a downtrend, right? And if we get here, take my profits. If we then go down, nice, someone buying more. And then we go. It is a form of trading and not really investing. But yeah, what's the difference? I mean, with investing, you also buy and sell, but on the long term. But it's a form of trading. But it's just a way of making sure that you at least cannot lose. Because guys, let's be real, man. Realize this. You came into crypto to make money, right? That's the goal, right? Maybe some XRP holders, they're in for the tag, of course, because they don't, that making money is off the table. But you came into crypto to make money. Then what should you at least rule out? Losing money, right? Let's not lose money at least. Why am I not in the middle of the fucking screen right here? It's fucked up. Okay. But let's at least make sure that you cannot lose, because that's the opposite of your goal. That should not even be mentionable. Like, that's not what we're here for, right? So first, make sure that you can't lose. And again, how can you do that? Hey, if you made it 2x in a bull market, which it doesn't take a fucking genius to do, take that off the table, your initial, and then the losing is off the then the losing is not possible anymore. Okay, it's not possible. Then you can talk about making money, and of course, then if the market goes down, you can always put that initial back to have even more exposure. If you want to go a little riskier, but hey, it's actually that easy, and that's what I'm gonna apply as well. So I understand that some people might say like, "Yo, dude, it's a 10x or it's nothing." Most of the times it is nothing, right? And in that case, I'd rather walk away with something. Nevertheless, like I said, the altcoin market is about to do something very interesting, man. Again, look at the 2-week. Like I said, this does not mean that we will go up today or tomorrow. It's not me saying that. It means that the statistics say that the average move is around between 50 and 150 and 300%, somewhat like that, over a time span of maybe 4 months, right? So what happens between now and September doesn't even matter. It's more like what happens between now and the end of the year, right? And I do expect that we see a good move. And if it goes here, here, or here, cannot make that out of this chart. There are other things that you can apply to that, of course. For example, what we can look at is that we need confirmation first, though, that this last low was the bottom, right? And how do we get that confirmation? Well, for example, making a higher high, or if we go down, make a higher low, right? Then it's pretty clear to me like, hey, this wick right here was the bottom. And then you can apply things like Fibonacci, for example, and then you can look like, well, the 0.382 comes in, by the way, exactly at this first target of 230 billion, give or take. And then you can also go a little further than that, right? Look where it all lines up with each other. So that's like 0.5 and the 0.618 is one level. That should be big. Right, we consolidated here for a long time as well, so that's a big level, right? But that's for another video. I just want to let you know, on long term, pretty bullish, looks good. S&P is making new highs almost, by the way, well, made a new high a couple of weeks ago, so that's looking good as well. So remember, guys, take your profits. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you taking your profits already? Right? Or do you feel like, nah, I can carry some more risk and I'm just investing now and waiting till the market really starts off? Because that's also a strategy, which is nothing wrong with, right? This is the strategy for the people that have no fucking job, depend on crypto, stupid assholes like me. For now, if you want to follow that stupid asshole on the Patreon as well for exclusive content, check out the link down below or in the pinned comment. You can see it there as well. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day, guys.